I'm Anne Mirschin. I teach in a small school in country Western Victoria, Australia.
Look at the lovely rural surroundings just outside the back gate of our school. You can see it's a rural school set in a small town that is culturally and geographically isolated. Our students from years 5 to 12 each have their own netbook.
Come, I want to show you what's inside my classroom.
Sometimes there's excitement, engagement and fun. However, look closely under the table. You can see a paper rocket lying there, showing the disengagement of the last class. However, this class is totally engaged, listening to Savish from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, explain how to use Microsoft Kodoo, a game-making program, and then how to play his award-winning game using video conferencing with Skype. My students then provided feedback via email. Sometimes there's complete silence. These students are plugged in listening to a saxophone player from the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra play to them and respond to their questions. The only sound is the occasional tapping of keys as students ask him questions. Video conferencing allows our grade 4 class to debate online with another class that is 2 hours drive away. We have gone on virtual tours through batik markets in Indonesia, talked one-on-one with students in Indonesia sharing our favourite books, and even spoken to students from Western Java 6 hours after they experienced a massive earthquake. They were frightened to go home as they were under high tsunami warnings. A research scientist from Antarctica has spoken virtually to our whole school. Our school is in the middle of the hinterland of Canna Winca. This is the world's largest geopark. Mount Rouse is an extinct volcano 15 minutes drive from our school. Our sister geopark is in Hong Kong, the world's smallest park. We have regular link-ups with geologists and members from Hong Kong using web conferencing software. Our classroom can be very mixed and blended. When young Nung from Hong Kong spoke to us, we had grade 2 right through to year 11 students all in one virtual classroom. Plus, we had geologists from China who were also there asking questions and listening to our expert speaker. During Earth Science Week, Ian Lewis spoke to us about the volcanoes in our regions and the animals that live there. Students use the BAT channel in Blackboard Collaborate to share their own knowledge and experiences. Sometimes they answered student questions. When Ian spoke about the bats, there were many questions in the chat. He stopped his presentation to answer all of these questions.
I like using Illuminate because you can ask questions and you'll get answers straight away, but you can't do that in a textbook.
It was Book Week in Australia last month. I tweeted a request for an author to Skype my Year 11 IT or computer class, hoping that one would fall out of the sky. But they did. Christopher Hertz from New York spoke to 60 students from Year 7 to 11 who were interested in writing soon after that tweet. He will now continue a 5-week online workshop with them next week, sharing his passion for writing and helping our students develop their writing skills. Another wonderful link for us has been with a school in Ipoh, Malaysia. This school has Chinese, Malay and Indian students. Their teacher, Veronica Wu, took my students on a cultural feast, video conferencing the festival events that farewelled their principal. They've also shared e-cultural learning adventures with us. Our students learnt how to fold paper money for bridal gifts. They listened to demonstrations of Malay drumming, learnt to dance some Malay steps and listened to traditional singing, all with video conferencing. This led to a global storytelling project involving the creation of student book trailers from both countries. The collaborative project involved a wiki called Global Storytelling, and the final outcome was a big video conference link-up for the Melbourne Writers' Festival on centre stage at Federation Square in Melbourne, the capital city of Victoria. This involved an amazing number of partnerships from both countries. Some of the best learning takes place in a virtual classroom where there can be live link-ups with, in this case, a school in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, who are in our time zone. We can share a whiteboard chat, we can share audio and files, we can teach each other's classes and again share our learning and knowledge. This brings me to the Flat Classroom projects, co-founded by Julie Lindsay and Vicky Davis, which has given us the experience, the knowledge and the expertise to take on some of these amazing connections and collaborative global projects. Students have come in from home at 9 p.m. our time, with fascinated parents watching the link-up with Julie's class in Beijing and another flat classroom in Germany who are just starting their school day to discuss their video outsourced requests and outcomes for the NetGen Ed project. My students have listened to a university lecturer from Qatar in the Middle East speak about citizenship journalism. Some of my students who have never been out of Australia before attended the Flat Classroom Conference in Doha, Qatar, and again in Mumbai, India. Another major highlight has been the Student Summit in Blackboard Collaborate with Julie's class in Beijing for the Global Education Conference late last year, where student learning was shared with interested people from around the globe.
The students from China asked us for our advice on their movies and their outsourced videos, and I think that was great because we were able to give them a second opinion. Sometimes when it's your work you're blind to several things, and I think they got quite a few different comments that will help them to improve their movies.
Is your classroom small or is your classroom big? Is your classroom square or is your classroom flat? Which classroom would you rather have? As my friend Veronica Wu from Malaysia says, the classroom is my world, but the world is my classroom.